Hey guys, bit of a different video format with this one. I wanted to show my scav runs that I do on Shoreline that I use to kind of fund whatever other projects I'm working on in Tarkov. So going for a daytime Shoreline raid, and I'll see you when we get in there. Alright, so I'm going to kind of walk through my thought process as I'm doing this raid. So one of the first things that I have to do always is repeatedly look at how much time I have. From there, I'll look at my extracts. I'll figure out, okay, what's my path here? And it's probably going to be the North Fence Passage, because that hits most of the stashes, as well as gives me a chance to go through a resort. But first things first, I'm going to loot this guy. So we have an ETG, which is great. I always throw ammo into the pockets. And as we go along, I'll put up a number for, how much loot I'm carrying at a given point in time. Money, go there. It's just SP. S marks are useful though. Apple juice might be useful. Alright, so we're at the cottages. I'm gonna go poke my head just to see if the door. Nope. This one's been gone through too. That is a better rig. So it looks like there was a fight over here. And yeah, that door is open. Not going to even waste my time going in to check to see if there's anything left over. Especially seeing bodies around here. There's a fight. PMC came through, cleared it out. If I die, I'm just going to do another video instead. And here's a PMC. They took his tag, they left his gun, but that's a Mosin sniper. With what I'm doing, that's great. And PS ammo. That's super good. I don't need the body armor. I will take the ears, though. So this stash has most likely been gone through. No. The stash wasn't great, so it might have been gone through. Well, that's... So when there's a fair amount of gunfire like that in a direction, I kind of do the rat thing and I go in the opposite direction. We have 25 minutes on this raid, it's about 20 now, so I can actually take my time. I can move a little bit slower. You know, scav raids, you're not going to get the best loot. That's if you're doing a PMC run. I will be doing a video with PMC run. Kind of doing the same concept. Alright, so there's a toolbox right here that I always like to try to hit. Alright, that stash and toolbox were not great, but, you know, it's something. We probably could go through the village. I don't want to risk it, because it's basically doubling back. Time efficiency is a huge part of doing the scav runs. If you can use most of your time actually looting rather than getting from point A to B, you're going to make a lot more money. check. Nothing there. I bet that's... My buddy Zach has a key that we've never seen before, and it's back door of the roadside shop. So I wonder if it's that for that. If you can get ears while on Scav, it will increase your likelihood of surviving, just because, same reason why you survive if you're a PMC with ears. You can hear things better. Now, if you happen to get killed by a traitor Scav, that's just kind of how the dice rolls sometimes. If you don't care about Scav karma, I mean, feel free to just shoot other Scavs, but you're going to have a longer cooldown on your Scav. You're going to have worse gear when you load in. You know, I accidentally killed a Scav very early on the wipe. It put me to negative Scav karma, and it was like a 40-minute wait. So I don't recommend it. So that's up at the top of Resort, I'm pretty sure. I have a real hard time judging distance. Alright. I don't normally hit the bus depot, but with the gunshots going on, we're gonna kind of take our time and slow roll this. Filing cabinets are gonna be some of your biggest money makers if you hit them consistently. If you only hit them every now and then, you're not gonna make as much. And then we got 2 jackets back here. Nothing on the shelves. Check these shelves. Nothing directly. So it seems like there's always a handful of stashes that everyone knows about, and then a handful of stashes that no one knows about. Like that one, I can come into raids, 5, 6 raids in a row, no one would touch them, and then I'll come into some raids and it will be hit every time. I'm not real keen on going up to the health resort right now. It's still 15 minutes left in the raid, and we've got PMCs probably still on the map lurking around. With the path to Lighthouse Extract, it seems that most of the time people will run into the resort and then they'll head to that extract. I've had it not be very often where I've run into PMCs on this side of the map after about the 15-minute mark. There might be some folks coming through Power Station here, and Sniper Scav is up, which is great because you gotta be a little alarm for us. So make sure you take your time when searching this building. People miss some of the easier things. I find that this toolbox gets missed a lot. Look at that, just nuts. There's no reason to not take nuts. They're needed in a lot of crafts and hideout upgrades, so. Hate is real good because it's going to be able to be bartered for a Salua. Mustache. Not really great, but it sells to Ragman and, you know, is a face cover slot. I'll have to check the price on the Crickens. So with the new loot rework, it's worth it to check all of these weird rooms that you used to never go into. Because you can have boxes spawn in them now. You know, it's a wrench. We'll grab it for the experience, basically. Reserve is where I've noticed the most, like, bathrooms having random weapon crates. So, I think it's worth it to check every room in a building now. Alright, come up here. So whoever came through here checked the first duffel bag, and they did not check anything else. So that means it was either a player scav or is a PMC who was just trying to get in and out real quick. Check in here, no boxes. Duffel bag is missing from here. Alright, so here I have a kind of decision that I have to make is, do I go through, there's 3 paths really to take. I can go up alongside the resort that way, I can go up through the weather station, or I can go around down towards the coastline. I'm probably going to go straight up through the weather station. If I had the customs extract, I might go around and hit the stashes on that side. But now that we're deeper into the raid, it's a scav run. Backpack is full, but we can still find stuff. Alright, this stash is not there. I love having the new loot randomization. Like, yeah, it kind of sucks that my normal stash runs are not as viable, because I used to be able to just hit every stash on this side of the map and then get out, and that was my old loot run. But you can't do that anymore. It forces you inside, it forces engagement, and it does it in a more organic way. So in coming up here, the only thing you have to watch out for this late is maybe a random one-off PMC. Or the goons. I haven't run into them yet this way, so I don't know their spawn occurrence. Oh, that's the new weapon low stance. Alright, looks like this area's been pretty cleaned out, so I'm not gonna... It's always worth it to, like, go in and check, even if you're pretty sure it's been cleared out, because there is a safe in here. Safes are always good. People miss and skip dumb things sometimes. Yeah, looks like everything's been gone through. Always check the floor right here and right over here, because people will, like, miss the obvious things that are just on the ground. Alright. You know, I haven't checked that cabin in a while, so I don't know if there's going to be any loot, but it's worth checking out. We've got time. nothing in the boxes. Sometimes loot will spawn in the boxes, sometimes it won't. No tools on the shelves. Alright. So we got about 10 minutes left in the raid. And we're fairly close to extract. We're not going to bother going up to the radio tower, but we are going to hit up, we're going to see if the stash over here near the power tower is actually up and functioning. Now, the alternative route here that if I hadn't heard the gunshots as I was coming up to Bus Depot, would have actually been to go into the resort. And I'm not actually looking for straight loot in the resort. I'm looking for PMC bodies. I had a scav run about 2 or 3 days ago where I ended up finding 4 PMC bodies. And just by the nature of there were 4 of them, whoever killed them could not take all their loot. So I was able to get a decent MDR that sold really well. I was able to get a level 5 armor vest. Stuff that I don't have access to that either gave me the funds for stuff I needed, or it gave me tools for more useful runs. Oh, yep, it's there. Well, we're gonna ditch that for the full health one. The body armor is not great, but it will absorb a hit. Yeah, 8 minutes, we got time. So it seems people don't really hit that power tower stash very often, but they do seem to hit the twin tree stash up here. And we'll check that, and then we'll go finish up this run. And it looks like no one hit this up. Need that for mechanic. So a pretty decent loot run so far. There's one more spot that I'm gonna check, and it's gonna be this house up on the hill. It has a terror group big weapon box and the big green weapon box as well, or big green military box I should say, because you can find more than just weapons in there. I always try to hit those to check them. They can have red rebel spawns, they can have other melee weapons. I think they're one of the largest loot pools in the game, potentially. So for running Scav, I cannot stress enough that getting the intel center up is going to make your life a lot easier doing Scav runs, because then you can do them more often. It's going to give you more rubles. It's going to allow you to upgrade your hideout faster. One of my friends does not do Scav runs very often. He just does interchange runs non-stop. I don't know how he does it. Every time I go into interchange as a PMC, I either die or there's no loot whatsoever. Every time he does it, he goes in and he comes out with like 1,000,000 rubles, so... not really worth it. Alright, so that M4 is going to be worth more. Let's check out our ammo type, 855. And from here, Like, if you're a Scav player, you're pretty much safe unless you run into another player Scav this late, like, it's 5 minutes to end of raid. It's this side of the map, so no PMC should be over here. And here's the north path, or north fence passage. All right. So, not a bad haul. I would have preferred a little less, like, barter loot is what I usually call a lot of this stuff, but it's going to be useful. The Serve 12 kit is value. I don't use them because I have a standard account. I can't fit that into my secure case. So I just use standard CMS kits. That'll sell really well. The two weapons, I'm keeping the Mosin Sniper because I'm doing bolt action only. The M4 will sell really well. I really like Sword-ins. They're my favorite headset, so I'm going to use those. The helmet is a good helmet. The armor might be useful for doing like a factory run as a PMC. I still need to get my pistol kills for stir-up, so that's the thing. The paid is really good because it's basically the equivalent of a Salua, so useful. And then stuff for the hideout. That is always useful. Impact grenades, I need to be better at using grenades. The ETG is actually really big. I don't have one of those yet, and I need one for samples, I'm pretty sure, because that quest is annoying. So, alright. Thanks, guys. I will put up a total for how much the sell value of everything is, give you an idea of how much money I actually make on these. I do these on when I do play. During the week, it's a bit harder for me to play because of work, but when I do play, I try to scav every time it's off cooldown. It allows me to keep my ruble count high and allows me to not have to stress about loot necessarily if I'm doing stuff on my PMC where I'm like, I need to focus on this task. Oh, but I kind of need loot. I don't need to do that. And it's pretty nice.
Overall, not a bad loot run. Ends up being about 615,000 rubles or so. Now, that's not going to be the total that I end up bringing in when I sold it all, because I'm going to use the Sword-ins, I'm going to use the Mosin Sniper, I'm going to use the armor, and I'm going to use a lot of those trade or barter goods for hideout upgrades. So I don't see that raw ruble value, but I wanted to put it in there in case you do. And it's really easy. I've done runs where I literally just bring it all in, I organize it into my stash, and then I sell it systematically. I will be doing one of these videos for each of the main maps that I play. The exception is going to be streets at the moment because I can't really load onto streets. I'm kind of one of those guys that's having a lot of performance issues on it. But I'm going to also do runs as a PMC. I'm going to show you my scav runs. I'm probably going to do a second scav run video with shoreline specifically because there is another route from the other side to the village side. If you guys like the video, go ahead and hit that like button. Comment down below what map you want to see me prioritize in this, and subscribe so you know when I put those videos out. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care.